Xiao Yin and the Devourer of Souls continued to wander through the void thunder pool. Before long, they discovered Duan Qifei's figure in a narrow, spatial thunder pool. This was a rather dim void. Amidst the vast expanse, Duan Qifei's delicate body stood suspended in midair, her eyes tightly closed. At this moment, gray lightning continually surrounded Duan Qifei. It was clear that the gray lightning had surged from the thunder pool and was now being absorbed by Duan Qifei, as waves of powerful energy began to emanate from her. Meanwhile, the reincarnation token on her forehead emitted strange fluctuations, as if something within the thunder pool was drawing her attention. However, these fluctuations were clearly not of a nature that ordinary items could produce. Xiao Yin frowned as he observed this scene. He couldn't shake the feeling that this so-called great opportunity was somehow connected to Duan Qifei. Master, what should we do now? Xiao Yin suppressed the burning excitement in his heart and asked quietly. Right now, we can't rush it, the Devourer of Souls replied after some thought. We should wait for Duan Qifei to awaken. Otherwise, if a powerful force were to awaken her during her cultivation state, it could potentially have an adverse effect on the reincarnation token. Xiao Yin nodded slightly at the answer, then turned his gaze toward the thunder pool, where thunderous roars erupted continuously. The sound made his heart tremble with excitement. While we wait, you should absorb this lightning power as well. After all, with the reincarnator's presence, the power of thunder in this pool will continuously converge here. The Devourer of Souls added with a grin. He could sense that Duan Qifei had already absorbed enough of the lightning energy, and the surrounding gray lightning was beginning to gather uselessly. Will I be able to break through? Xiao Yin murmured, his voice full of anticipation. The gray lightning, though its origin was unknown, was far more powerful than even Xiao Yin's Docian tribulation or pill tribulation. Then let's begin cultivating. Duan Qifei will likely wake up soon, the Devourer of Souls suggested. Xiao Yin nodded and lightly tapped his toes in the void, flying toward Duan Qifei's side. At the same moment, the sacred flame erupted from his body, enveloping him completely. The moment Xiao Yin approached, the gray lightning, which had already surrounded Duan Qifei as she absorbed it, reacted as if startled. The bolts, resembling silver serpents, shot toward Xiao Yin, attacking him with lightning speed. Dragon God's first transformation. Xiao Yin didn't dare to hesitate, knowing the power of this level of lightning was no joke. Upon invoking the Dragon God's first transformation, a faint golden light appeared on Xiao Yan's body. Afterward, no matter how powerful the lightning, it could not harm him. The gray lightning, though intense, was blocked by Xiao Yan's formidable physique and sacred flame. The strikes turned into muffled sounds and dissipated without a trace, leaving only faint remnants of power that seeped into Xiao Yan's body. Thump, thump. It seemed that Duan Qifei sensed these subtle sounds, as her beautiful eyes flickered, though she did not open them, still consuming the power of the lightning. Within the gray thunder pool, the violent, explosive energy of the lightning danced and flickered. Each pulse of lightning caused ripples to spread through the void, but before long, it was absorbed by Xiao Yin. At this moment, deep within the void thunder pool, Xiao Yin was continuously absorbing the gray lightning. His body, filled with the thunderous energy, resembled a giant gray dragon, brimming with dazzling power. Yet, despite the intensity of the lightning, under the protection of his Dragon God's first transformation and sacred flame, the energy was gradually refined, turning into pure strength that flowed into his body. In the gray, ethereal void, the figure of Duan Qifei and the body of Xiao Yin slowly emerged. Duan Qifei's lightning power had almost completely faded, and she seemed on the verge of awakening. As for Xiao Yin, the ferocious gray lightning raged around him like a storm, with massive bolts of thunder flashing from the void. These strikes, about the size of a man's arm, swarmed around him, but none of them caused any disturbance. Within the void thunder pool, for reasons unknown, the power of the gray lightning seemed endless. A full month passed in the blink of an eye as this energy was absorbed. During this month, Duan Qifei's aura stabilized, but her strength astonishingly surged to the level of a perfect 2-star Docian, leaving Xiao Yin secretly marveling. However, Xiao himself also made significant gains during this period. Have I reached my limit? Xiao slowly opened his eyes, noticing that his battle core had developed a faint, overpowering resistance to the surrounding gray lightning. Shaking his head in resignation, he stood up. Late 2-star Docian. Rising slightly, he casually threw a few punches, the gray lightning circulating through him, lending incredible power to his attacks. With my current late 2-star Docian level, combined with my battle soul, sacred flame, the dragon god's first transformation, and soul battle techniques, I might even be able to contend with a genuine 3-star Docian. Feeling the overwhelming power coursing through him, a faint smile appeared on Xiao lips. Yet, he couldn't help but feel a touch of frustration. Advancing further required immense effort. The mysterious nature of the burning flame art, which allowed him to devour sacred flames in exchange for formidable power, had become an indispensable part of his journey. Seeking out sacred flames was now an unavoidable task. Suddenly, a faint buzzing sound broke the silence. Beside him, Duan Qifei's beautiful eyes fluttered open. At the same time, a powerful, ancient aura began to emanate from within her. Is that the power of a reincarnator? Xiao heart clenched as he instinctively grew cautious. Oh, little one, and the devourer of souls. It's been a long time. A bell-like, silvery laughter echoed through the void. Around them, the once aggressive gray lightning became eerily still, gathering submissively before Duan Qifei. Her eyes now shimmered with gray energy, and the reincarnation token on her forehead radiated a dazzling light. Thunder Lord, is it? Xiao murmured softly, his lips dry, while his heart was overwhelmed with shock. Come with me, Duan Qifei said abruptly, not waiting for Xiao astonishment to subside. However, Xiao sensed that Duan Qifei was no longer herself, likely taken over by a sliver of consciousness within the reincarnation token. Master, Xiao muttered in acknowledgement before consulting the Devourer of Souls. Facing an entity of the Thunder Lord's caliber, even a fragment of their spirit could destroy him effortlessly. Seeking guidance was only prudent. Follow her. She will lead you to the core of the Thunder Pool, the Devourer of Souls advised. The core has always been off-limits to humans due to powerful restrictions. Following her will allow you to bypass them. Nodding, Xiao immediately trailed behind Duan Qifei. Together, they vanished into the depths of the training pool. Are we there yet? Xiao muttered to himself as he continued following her through the void. The surrounding lightning grew increasingly potent, making his hair stand on end. Suddenly, they arrived at a small gray light in the depths of the thunder pool. This was undoubtedly its core. Whoosh! What an overpowering seal! As they approached the light, an oppressive force emanated from deep within his soul, leaving Xiao on edge. With a flicker in her eyes, Duan Qifei summoned a faint trace of silver lightning from the mark on her forehead. This energy enveloped Xiao, shielding him from the soul-crushing pressure. So strong, Xiao thought, astonished at how even a trace of her power could nullify the overwhelming suppression in an instant. His curiosity about the reincarnation token only deepened. It's been years, but I've finally returned. Duan Qifei's gray eyes fixated on the gray light with a trace of relief. Let's go. With a sharp command, she and Xiao vanished into the gray light. What is this? Xiao gasped as they entered the light. Before them stretched an immense void. Despite his full strength, he couldn't penetrate it in the slightest. His shock only deepened as his eyes settled on a massive gray lake, nearly 1,000 feet across. The lake was eerily still, devoid of life. Yet the gray hue carried an intensity of lightning power that made Xiao scalp tingle. This vast body of water was none other than a colossal pool of gray lightning. Stay here. I need to summon my fragmented soul. Boom boom. After Duan Qifei finished speaking, she brought her hands together in a prayer position. Strange and ancient hand seals began to appear one after another. As these seals manifested, the surrounding gray thunder began to slowly gather in front of her. Crash! Not long after, a graceful figure, formed entirely of energy, slowly emerged from the gray thunder. It was a woman, her silver hair cascading down, adhering to her robe, displaying her graceful figure to perfection. Even the faint gray thunder constantly surrounded her delicate body. Though subtle, it contained terrifying energy capable of annihilating everything. Thunderlord, it's been quite some time. The next moment, the devourer of souls inside Xiao Yan's body broke free from its restraints and took human form, speaking to the figure before them. Devourer of souls? You're still alive? As soon as the energy figure appeared, it immediately sensed the presence of the devourer of souls. But before she could speak, the devourer of souls asked first. I was fortunate to survive back then. The devourer of souls replied with a hint of shame. Having been gravely wounded and on the brink of death, it was only after entering a coffin to recover that Xiao Yan found him, leading to this current moment. Thud. With a soft sound, Duan Qifei finally returned to her senses. What happened? Where are we? She looked around, confusion written on her face, but the two distinct energies, one black and one gray, emanated an overwhelming sense of danger. Duan Qifei, truly a good name, the Thunder Lord remarked, her gaze focused on the figure before her. After all, this woman was her reincarnator. Senior, you? Under the Thunder Lord's intense gaze, Duan Qifei immediately felt an immense pressure. However, the reincarnation token on her forehead emitted a faint, ancient glow. As expected, the Thunder Lord smiled after confirming the reincarnation token. Thunder Lord, someone as powerful as you? Did you fall too? The Devourer of Souls, not interrupting the Thunder Lord, waited for her to examine the reincarnation token before finally speaking. Something like that. The strength of the extraterritorial evil clan far exceeds our expectations. During the first great war between heaven and earth, too many powerful beings perished. A cold glint flashed in the Thunder Lord's eyes as she spoke, her anger and hatred for the extraterritorial evil clan evident. Every time she thought of them, a chilling murderous intent would arise. This place is a remnant of my soul. My memories and time are running out. Now, let's get to the point. The Thunder Lord said, her voice trailing off as she slowly spoke. The pressing matter was to activate the reincarnation power within Duan Qifei, as the reincarnation token inside her had been deprived of much time, making her reincarnation power unstable. If not dealt with properly, this reincarnation could fail. Moreover, if a reincarnator failed, not only would their strongest incarnation perish, but their very essence would also vanish. Thus, it was crucial to activate the power of reincarnation. Your name is Xiao Yan, right? The Thunder Lord turned to Xiao Yan and asked. Yes, I am Xiao Yan. Senior, I don't quite understand. Xiao Yan was also confused, unsure whether he should get involved at this moment. I sense a fluctuation of Xiao clan bloodline within you. Humph. Although I know it's unwise to drag the grievances of our previous generation into the next, but I will settle accounts with him later. The Thunder Lord said, her voice laced with playful anger. The surrounding thunder grew even more intense, its terrifying power so overwhelming that even if Xiao Yan used all his strength, he would likely be obliterated instantly. Yet, through these words, Xiao Yan began to feel that someone from his clan had gotten into unnecessary conflict with a powerhouse like the Thunder Lord. Forget it. We'll talk about those matters once I wake up. But before that, I have one request. I hope you can agree to it. The Thunder Lord paused and then spoke. What request? Xiao Yan asked, puzzled. Protect Duan Qifei until the reincarnation power within her is fully awakened. In return, you will have the right to cultivate my Thunder Emperor's sacred codex. The Thunder Lord's commanding voice echoed through the entire void thunder pool. Thunder Emperor's sacred codex? Xiao Yan was taken aback. He had never heard of it before, but given the seriousness with which the Thunder Lord spoke, this object was surely not something simple. Thunder Emperor's sacred codex? The Devourer of Souls couldn't help but show a look of shock upon hearing this. The Thunder Lord's strength was one of the greatest in the Great Thousand Worlds, and every being of such power possessed legendary techniques or abilities. The Devourer of Souls, the Thunder Lord's power, comes from the Thunder Emperor's sacred codex. the one who rules over thunder. When the Thunder Emperor's sacred codex is unleashed, the heavens themselves tremble. This shows just how formidable the Thunder Emperor's sacred codex truly is. TSK, you're really not holding back. The Devourer of Souls couldn't help but murmur softly. After all, although these top-tier experts were powerful, their abilities were often limited to a single trump card, and it was this that earned them their fame. Little one, what do you think? The Thunder Lord cast a sideways glance at the Devourer of Souls before speaking to Xiao. It's an honor, Xiao replied, nodding slowly. Though he had no idea what the Thunder Emperor's sacred codex was, judging by the surprised expression on the Devourer of Souls' face, it was probably a power on par with the soul-devouring talisman, so he smiled and added, but I don't mind. Master! Master! The usually silent Duan Qifei suddenly murmured, her voice carrying a rare hint of stubbornness. Even her pupils seemed to redden slightly. Fair, what's wrong? The Thunder Lord seemed to sense something and spoke in a soft, concerned tone, as a sense of unease began to grow. Master, I don't want to become a reincarnator. Could I give this to Xiao? Gathering her courage, Duan Qifei gently touched the mysterious symbol on her forehead and spoke quietly. She didn't know exactly what this was, but she could feel the immense power within it, enough to shake the very heavens and earth. As the only daughter of Duan Tianhong, and having lost her mother early on, Duan Qifei had been spoiled by the people of the Duan Knife Thunder Valley. Yet, despite this, all she wanted was to live a simple, ordinary life. If she took on the power of a reincarnator, the burden would be too heavy. Fair, this matter. The Thunder Lord fell silent, clearly taken aback. It was rare for someone of her level to have others ask for something, but here was Duan Qifei turning it around. The position of a reincarnator was 1 in a million, but rather than being surprised, the Thunder Lord could sense that Duan Qifei was afraid of something deeper. I just want to be an ordinary girl, to grow up, marry the man I love, have children, and live a simple life. Before Duan Qifei could finish, the Thunder Lord's eyes narrowed slightly, sensing a lie in her words. Both Xiao and the Devourer of Souls were momentarily speechless. After all, the identity of a reincarnator carried tremendous power, but also an equally tremendous weight. This matter cannot be forced. If you don't want it, I will remove the reincarnation mark for you, the Thunder Lord said after some thought, shaking her head slightly. It was clear that becoming a reincarnator had to be a voluntary act. Otherwise, the consequences for controlling such power could be unpredictable. Thank you, Duan Qifei replied, her eyes glistening with tears. Come with me. The Thunder Lord's voice carried a hint of reluctance, but since forcing the reincarnator's power was futile, she summoned a brilliant gray light to envelop them both, as if preparing for something. Master, what's going on? Xiao had initially thought that Duan Tianhong was overthinking things, but after seeing this, he was at a loss. A reincarnator could indeed offer great help in resisting the extraterritorial evil clan, but the price was too high, especially for a girl who would have to shoulder such a heavy responsibility. Let it happen naturally. The Devourer of Souls sighed helplessly. Fair, what are you afraid of? The Thunder Lord's gaze softened, and she asked gently as she enveloped them in a protective light. Buzz, buzz. At the Thunder Lord's question, Duan Qifei's rare emotional turmoil was triggered. This power is too overwhelming. I'm just afraid I won't be able to control it, and that I'll hurt those around me. Without Xiao presence, Duan Qifei seemed like a completely different person. She no longer hid her emotions, her nose reddening as tears welled up in her eyes. Because of her childhood memories and the reincarnation token that had caused her so much pain, she had nearly killed her closest friend due to its power. That was when her mother had sacrificed herself to seal it away, which is why she was so fearful of this power now. Don't worry. Once it stabilizes, you will be able to harness my power without losing control. And once you truly master it, you will be reborn, the Thunder Lord said gently, clearly trying to reassure Duan Qifei. Will I surpass Xiao? After a brief pause, Duan Qifei asked. You will, the Thunder Lord smiled softly. Okay. Duan Qifei remained unusually quiet, as if deep in thought. Do you have feelings for that Xiao Yin? Thunder Lord asked again, noticing Duan Qifei's indecision. No. Duan Qifei stammered. In truth, she wasn't sure what her feelings for Xiao Yin were. He didn't quite feel like a friend, but there was some affection, though she feared she might one day lose control of the power of the reincarnation token. Xiao Yin is from the Xiao clan, the same clan that achieved great feats in the Heavenly War. And Xiao Yin is probably the last surviving member of the Xiao clan. His future mission will be to oppose the extraterritorial evil clan. If you acquire my power, you'll naturally be able to help him. You understand the principle of getting close to the source to gain the benefit, don't you? Thunder Lord explained. Master, thank you. Let's begin. After being persuaded, Duan Qifei finally let go of her worries, clearly putting aside all her doubts. She was Thunder Lord's reincarnator, wielding the power of thunder, ruler of unparalleled strength. After becoming a reincarnator, you will gain my power, but I will not assimilate you. You will remain yourself. Thunder Lord smiled slowly, as Duan Qifei was someone she had searched for with great effort. Buzz. Brilliant gray thunder continued to fall from the center of Duan Qifei's brow, then returned to Thunder Lord's body. Soon, ancient runes slowly appeared on Thunder Lord's form, flowing onto the thunder, before they returned to Duan Qifei, repeating the process. Within her, a vast, world-shaking force gradually began to stir. Has the reincarnation begun? Feeling the radiant light within the impenetrable barrier, the Devourer of Souls laughed softly. Thunder Lord really is impressive, Xiao Yin remarked in surprise, clearly unaware of what method Thunder Lord had used to make Duan Qifei change her mind. Since I've helped Thunder Lord complete the task, it's time to claim this great opportunity. Seeing the ripples of reincarnation in front of him, the Devourer of Souls' eyes gleamed with a sharp light, and he smiled slowly. Great opportunity? Xiao Yan's eyes lit up with anticipation as he heard these words. Clearly, he had been waiting for this moment. Buzz. The next moment, Thunder Lord's figure slowly emerged from the light barrier. You old fool, always eyeing my opportunities? My opportunities are meant for my reincarnator. There's no place for this brat. Besides, this kid is from the Xiao clan. It's already a great mercy that I haven't kicked him out. As soon as Thunder Lord appeared, she immediately berated the Devourer of Souls and Xiao Yin, though her power seemed to have diminished to its limit, and her form even began to flicker. What puzzled Xiao Yin most was which great figure in the Xiao clan had angered Thunder Lord. Enough of this. Duan Qifei is absorbing your power and beginning to touch reincarnation. So the opportunity in this thunder pool belongs to my disciple. The Devourer of Souls laughed, clearly seeing through Thunder Lord's intentions. This guy is your disciple? Didn't expect you to be so stingy. The great Devourer of Souls, yet you're so cheap with your own disciple. If this gets out... Thunder Lord rolled her eyes at the Devourer of Souls, clearly feeling that there was no trace of his inheritance in Xiao Yin. The so-called master-disciple relationship here seemed rather disheartening. Less talk, let's get started. Otherwise, don't expect my disciple to protect Duan Qifei. The Devourer of Souls said with a stern face. He had no choice. He was still injured, and most of his abilities were suited for dealing with the ghost realm and its creatures. For someone like Xiao Yin, most of what he knew would be useless. Duan Qifei will still need some time to absorb the reincarnation. This opportunity will go to you. Follow me. But kid, remember this. The reincarnator's identity will make you a target for the extraterritorial evil clan and other such forces. If anything happens to my beloved disciple before I awaken, even if the highest of your Xiao clan protects her, I will hunt you to the ends of the earth. Thunder Lord's seemingly gentle words were laced with immense killing intent. Xiao Yin felt a sudden chill. Originally, Xiao Yin had planned to ask about the Xiao clan's situation, but seeing Thunder Lord's hatred for them, he wisely chose to remain silent. I will give my all, Xiao Yin said, a jolt of shock running through him. Buzz. At the center of the Thunder Lake, which stretched for thousands of feet, everyone had initially been in the sky. Upon arrival, they discovered that in the middle of the lake, there was a crystal ball. About the size of a palm, the crystal emitted a faint but incredibly powerful aura. This is a soul beast or a battle soul? Xiao Yin observed the strange force bound within the gray crystal ball and couldn't help but ask. Based on his senses, whatever was inside could only be a battle soul or a soul beast. This is thunder essence, a special energy formed from the thunder power I absorbed. You should absorb it directly, the Thunder Lord spoke softly. This is a gift for you. Once you absorb it, its power will elevate your physical strength to a new level, and it will also greatly benefit your growth in power, he continued. Buzz. As the Thunder Lord spoke, the crystal ball began to shake violently, as if sensing an overwhelming unease. This thing has quite a bit of intelligence, doesn't it? Do it yourself. At that moment, the Thunder Lord's phantom slowly faded back into the legacy of Duan Qifei, leaving only Xiao Yin and the Devourer of Souls behind. Go ahead, said the Devourer of Souls. Whoosh! The next moment, the crystal ball at the center of the lake suddenly exploded, releasing a dazzling, gray thunderbolt light that immediately entered Xiao Yan's field of vision. What overwhelming power! Xiao Yan couldn't help but shudder. It was clear that this thunder energy contained some of the Thunder Lord's power. After absorbing it, he might develop a great resistance to thunder-related attributes in the future. Gurgle. As the gray thunder essence appeared, it immediately sensed a fluctuation of emotion within Xiao Yan's body, then began to wriggle. In the blink of an eye, it transformed into a graceful figure. Xun'er? Xiao Yan was just about to make a move when he saw the familiar figure in front of him. His voice faltered. 3,000 strands of hair cascaded down, her flawless skin complementing her alluring face. This figure was none other than the one Xiao Yan had been longing for. Xun'er. This guy is such a playboy, just like the ancestors of the Xiao clan. He really makes me mad. The Thunder Lord, watching Xiao Yan momentarily stunned, couldn't help but shake his head from within the light barrier. Xiao Yanji, I've been waiting for you so long. Won't you come down and keep me company? As the energy figure took shape, its lips curled into a seductive smile, two dimples appearing as she gazed at him with a look of invitation. Every movement and expression was so lifelike. It was as if Xun'er was standing before him. Whoosh! As the words left her lips, seeing Xiao Yan dazed, Xun'er's body was enveloped in a radiant gray energy. Her figure erupted into motion, instantly shooting towards Xiao Yan. Xun'er, once the ghost realm ends, I'll come to find you. Xiao Yan slowly closed his eyes. Within his body, a dazzling sacred flame surged. Sacred flame? Seeing this, the thunder essence Xun'er gasped. The next moment, she was completely engulfed by Xiao Yan's flames. Despicable! Within the gray thunder essence, after reverting to its true form, it couldn't help but roar at Xiao Yan. Its power was enough to make even a late-stage 2-star Do Xian tremble, but Xiao Yan had actually used the sacred flame to imprison it. The power of the sacred flame made it feel utterly humiliated, and it could only flee, helpless against the fate of being consumed. You can only blame yourself for turning into her, Xiao Yan said, his voice devoid of hesitation. His eyes were filled with a serious expression as he raised his hand. A dazzling sacred flame surged out, directly enveloping and devouring the creature. No matter how powerful this thunder essence was, under the burning of Xiao Yan's sacred flame, it quickly disintegrated into nothingness. Buzz! The radiant sacred flame continued to surge, and the intelligence within the gray thunder essence slowly began to be cleansed. 3 hours later, the thunder essence had lost all its consciousness and had transformed into the purest form of energy. Become my nourishment. Feeling the exceptionally brilliant gray energy in his hand, Xiao Yan whispered. Buzz!